but not many industries exist. Of course, if he's going to sell to South Africa, or of course sell to Egypt,
Right.
maybe if the tariff is free, maybe they will get more money.
Right. So there is not much industry, and there's only 16% of the intra-trade because they don't produce much, and not much that can be exported at least. But once the African Free Trade Union exists, it will be an incentive for foreign investment to actually build factories, to build a production capacity, to serve those 1.2 billion people that will be 2.4, 2.8 by 2050.
Oh yes.
So that is a good opportunity.
Yeah.
So but that investment will not come if the African Union does not exist, because then they will need to compete with Bangladesh in every single nation.
Right.
So it gives a better opportunity to negotiate trade agreements with countries like China, but it also gives a good incentive for investment into industries in Africa with the African market in mind, because African market will develop.
By the way, you said 2.5 billion 2050. This it means more than double.
Yes.
Might be a food crisis.
Oh,
Right?
might be, but I'm kind of optimistic about food. First of all, because actually,
Or water shortage.
but what we see is that actually with the technology, we become much better capable of creating a stable food supply, because crops become more resistant to
More
extreme
efficient.
situations, more efficient. So I'm not so much worried about food, to be honest with you.
Water.
Water, well, I mean, water is already a problem in Africa.
Yeah, do you know the Central Africa's big lake? What's the name of that?
Takaki? No.
No. This is drying up
Mm.
because they are using it for drinking
Mm.
or irrigation.
Mm.
Drying up. Compared with
Central Africa is a very difficult country.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
It's landlocked. It has no access to the ocean. It doesn't produce anything. It's mismanaged. It's it's really, and it's a total desert actually.
Yeah, this is another issue. Okay.
Okay. Another challenge that they have, of course, is that they have 54 countries. Europe, when they started, only had 6. So if you want to negotiate something with 6 countries or with 50, it's much more difficult to create consensus among the members. So actually, there are a lot of challenges when you look at it. So the difference in economic speed, the fact that there are so many nations, the fact that there's so little intra-trade, but there are also some benefits that exist that could actually lead to the African Union materializing. I mean, actually, it's already surprising that there are more than 50 countries at the table at the moment.
But it's interesting. Why many people talking about African Union instead of South America?
Because South America doesn't have the same. Well, that's not entirely
Same,
true.
right?
But okay, so the only
Okay,
country.
I tell you, Mercosur. Okay, Mercosur, Brazil and some couple of countries they try to make contract each other agreement, but not including Venezuela, not including Colombia. Sort of, they will not organize Pan American, South American countries kind of free trade. Why they don't never talking about that? But Africa, they always talking about the African Union. Why they are talking about that? Africa is diversified races, white and black, many kind of people there.
Well, I think that actually it's not only that. I mean, basically, tribalism still very much exists in Africa.
Yeah, but Egypt and South Africa, they're completely different country. Right?
Yeah.
No communication they can make it, right? It's amazing. Why they're talking about the African Union? Okay, if they're going to talk South Africa, like you said, Southern African Custom Union, South African Club, or Northern part of Africa People Agreement, I can guess they can make it, but they don't even shake hands. Central Africa, no kidding, no. They're a poor country. I don't want to be, those people really involvement in their country.
No, that seems to happen.
And if you're going to accept those countries, that's just also Boko Haram or some sort of insurgency will come and get together. They don't want to be involved.
But actually, like Boko Haram.
I'm talking about free to moving around with those people.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to.
Well, that's actually something that will not happen within the next 15-20 years, for sure. That takes much more time.
Union?
Yeah. So that the free movement of people, that's something that.
Okay, my opinion is tell the truth. Okay, they just going to the northern part of Africa or southern part of Africa. Maybe they're going to make some business agreement, but not more than that.
Well, it would be good if they could actually. So if we look at the end result with one African Union, where they have no trade barriers, when they will actually be good for them because it will create a good opportunity for investment. But if they are diversified, that investment opportunity will not start. So it would be good for Africa if they would
more risk, more problem rather than profit benefit.
Well, I mean, looking what Nigeria has done, it seems like they are also worried about the possible side effect of a union.
Any developed country in Africa don't want to make contact with Nigeria. Right? No benefit, no market, just only huge population, starving, insurgency.
The southern part of Nigeria. The southern part of Nigeria is a interesting part because they have money and they're quite stable. So I think the southern part of Nigeria is nothing to sneeze at.
Yes, right.
So okay, the northern part, that's a different story. And the question is also, if you look at the long run, how is stability in Africa going to pan out? Cannot be 100% sure. Actually, in one of the videos in there is a discussion about the African Free Trade Union and what benefits it brings, and actually one of the speakers argues that until we can take care of our problems internally, we shouldn't be worried so much about African Free Trade Union, because we cannot even create stability within Nigeria. What are we talking about? So skeptics are definitely there. Your skepticism is shared, but if we look at the final result, if we actually can put all these countries together and can put them there facing in the same direction, it could lead to more stability, it could lead to increased bargaining power, and it could actually invite more investments into Africa. Those three things, I think, are very could be very good for Africa.
And we're going to try to more wider agreement among developed country, developed area might benefit, right? But the kind of northern part of half of Nigeria is they don't want to touch it, right? No progress.
No.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. Mali is the same.
Right.
Mali is the same.
But this area is also it's ideal for terrorist activity because it's so difficult to control. It's like the desert with the infrastructure. It's easy to get away. It's very difficult to control these areas. Is it cold, Takai-san? Samui?
No, it's air conditioning too much.
Air